สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์ปณิธาน
สวัสดีครับ
Good evening, Dr. Panitan. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Well, we have to adjust it. A lot of things on campus at Chulalongkorn University. We are now online most of the activities. So I think this is one of the new ways of life from now on.
But you are adjusting yourself to that this new situation also, right? You spend more your time at home now, right?
Well, yes, indeed, that's part of the successful formula for fighting this virus. You need to be isolated from normal activities as much as you can. You need to make sure that your workers, your friends, your colleagues are also contained or isolated as well. So this is a time to give encouragement to your friends to stay at home.
I see. Okay.
In terms of security affairs, what we should be looking out for, especially in the south of Thailand, regarding the case of Thai visitor who went to join the religious ceremony in Malaysia?
Well, I think the government is now stepping up, as you know, to control or contain, the spreading of the virus by closing down checkpoints, borders, or setting up the measures, not allowing people to come in and getting out easily based on calculated measures. So I think this is one of the activities that the government is now doing.
I see. Dr. Panitan, we have to admit that in the initial stage of the coronavirus outbreak, the way that the government handled the situation caused a lot of confusions. But do you think now the government is back in charge?
Well, increasingly so, of course. I think as you see more special structures, more special power being put in place, I think the government is now in more control of the activities. This is very new to more than 160 countries, superpowers, European countries, Asian countries are very much experiencing new challenges. I think for Thailand, of course, as you see the next few days, you see more orders for people to stay at home, more containment focused on particular groups, and maybe more drastic measures, including, for example, curfew if needed in certain places. So this will eventually control the spreading of the virus. We need to do two things actually. One is to protect the family, protect yourself, protect the community from getting the virus. For those people who have not contracted the virus, this is the first thing to do. The second thing, of course, the government needs to do is to contain people who are already infected from outside and inside. So these are the two simultaneous challenges that we need to do at this time.
So are you suggesting that the measures taken by the government so far may not be sufficient to deal with the situation?
Well, I think the government's decisions or measures are now based on scientific evidences, on recommendations of doctors. But of course, as we are now moving into a real trading period, I think more executive measures, more perhaps preventive measures, including more power or more restrictive measures will be applied as we need to contain some of these areas to be under control.
And how should security personnel be prepared in this situation in order to cope with the more advanced measures?
Well, I think the medical personnel, security personnel, government officials now are under very strict orders to execute orders and command accordingly. Of course, this is in theory, but in practice, you need to make sure you need to have units that are job on others to make sure that orders are being implemented borders are closed, airports are very much restricted. So you need to actually make sure that implementation is carrying on the ground.
So when we talk about more stringent measures to be introduced, are we talking about the possibility of a lockdown for Thailand?
Well, I'm certain that total 100% lockdown cannot be achieved by most countries, if not all countries, under this age of globalization. But you can, of course, achieve a very high percentage of lockdown. You can achieve the high percentage of controlling the activities across borders or across provinces or even across certain areas in one or two big cities. I think you can do that, and this is the only way you can actually put the situation under the control until we can come up with better measures in terms of curing the diseases. This is the only one available and known and success stories in many countries that you need to close down as much as you can.
Okay. So there are different degrees of lockdown, right?
Yes, as we are now moving into the next few weeks, the public may see more and more degree of closing down or lockdown, activities, certain places, certain provinces, especially along the borders and among the high-risk groups. I think this has to be accepted. It has to be perhaps encouraged in the society at this time.
So that means that people should be prepared for tougher times ahead, right?
Well, it's a different kind of challenge. I think luckily many people can stay at home and work effectively using the internet. And luckily, of course, I think people are now able to communicate with each other by new social media. So I think work and life could be normal at home at this time. Imagine without internet these days and the virus is spreading, you could be locked down with total isolation. But these days, you can still be connected.
Yeah.
And in terms of regional politics, because you are a professor in international relations, how do you see it has shaped regional geopolitics regarding the COVID-19?
Well, I think we have many lessons learned already in the region. We continue to have more lessons to be learned in the future as how we can control cross-border activities. We can also see more connectivities much clearer than we used to see in the past. Groups across the borders regularly, for example, religious groups, trader groups, could be under the new measures after these activities. For example, the measures of healthcare must be also redrawn in the future. And of course, you can see relationships improve among countries, relationship worsened among countries, especially with the superpowers. These are lessons to be learned under the crisis at this time.
I know you are not a fan of President Donald Trump. So what do you think of his description of the coronavirus as a Chinese virus?
Well, I think we are very much concerned with the focus of China associated with the virus. But it is indeed true that the virus may originated from China, but we don't know yet. But the focus on that, or rather the politicizing of that virus, caused a lot of trouble on the ground among individuals, individual Asians in particular, in many countries. And this is not expected. The violation of their human rights, the West have been very much advocating this issue, but at the same time, it seems to me that in many instances and in many countries, their policy of protecting human rights may not be applied to some of these Asian people.
Okay, so that's the comment from Ajahn Panitan regarding COVID-19 situation. But please stay put because we will get back to you for the Thai version regarding your view of COVID-19 outbreak. Thank you very much for joining us for now, อาจารย์ปณิธาน ค่ะ
So basically, Ajahn Panitan is reminding us to be prepared for tougher time ahead.
Yes.
Because certainly, more stringent measures will be needed. To get the people to be able to fight this challenge together.